Here we go, part 5 of motivation. This is our last one. We're talking about the need to belong. We have this motivation to belong in groups. So why? Why do we have this need to belong? Well, real quick reason is that it aids in survival. A long time ago, humans realized that, hey, hunting in groups of 6 is better than hunting in groups of 2 or hunting in groups of 1. And so it aided in survival, right? So survival goes up, and what's evolution look for? Increase survival and reproduce. Well, you're going to do both of those if you're alive, right? And so you stay alive more if you're in a group. So that's, biological, evolutionary reason. And then we just have this strong, desire to want to belong to others. Married people are much less likely to develop depression, suicide, early death than those who are unattached. Um, Psychologists, data shows that we spend a lot of time thinking about or dreaming about actual or either even hoped for relationships. And, if you're a teenager, right, you've probably spent a good deal of your time thinking about these things if you were anything like I and most other teenagers in the world were and are. So this we have these we just have this inherent desire to belong. If I asked you, what was the best thing that's happened to you in the past month, 99% of you are going to give me some sort of reason that has to do with some instance with either your best friend or your mom or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or some sort of relationship, right? And so we just have this deep desire as human beings to belong and to be with other people, right? We're social creatures, right? That's why it's abnormal to want to be alone all the time, right? We want to be part of something. And this is also why, gangs and ethnic rivalries and fanatic nationalism occurs, right? Because we have this desire to be a part of something and to have others around us. And if we can't find it one place, we're going to look for it somewhere else. And so, gangs are just biology and evolution's way of belonging to something. Some additional things is that when we talk about belonging, we talk about sustaining relationships. Right, we've mentioned this in familiarity. There we go. Breeds not contempt, but liking, right? And sometimes you guys think about this. No, no, no. My brother or sister, I see them all the time, and you dislike them. But that's not really true. You actually like them a lot more than you think, right? Remember, negative events and come to our mind a lot more. We see the differences rather than all the time that's similar in life often. And so familiarity breeds liking, and so we belong to these different groups that we're more familiar with, right? So you're more likely, you grow up with a particular type of person or group of people, you're more familiar with them, you feel more likely to belong to that group as you grow older. Now, kind of the sad part of it is the ostracism. Oops, that's not very good. Ostracism. Ostracism is when you're not part of the group, right? That's social exclusion. So when you're out of the group, so you guys have all felt this. Maybe you haven't gotten an email reply from somebody, or somebody's ignoring you on Twitter or Facebook or whatever have you. You get this feeling like it's not a great feeling if you texted somebody and they didn't respond back. Regardless of whether or not they didn't see it, and you don't know that yet, you don't realize that they didn't see it or that their phone's dead or what have you, but you just have this this bad feeling about it, especially if it's somebody that you feel close to, that you feel like you really do belong with, right? And so there's this strong pain of ostracism. And most people respond to ostracism with a little bit of a depressed mood, with these initial efforts to restore acceptance. And then if that doesn't happen, people often withdraw and they go into themselves. This elicits, some very biological responses. There's increased activity in the anterior cingulate cortex, right? That's where some of your pain center is going. And so when you're, there's physical pain when you're not part of a group. So it shows you how important being part of a group is to, oh my gosh, to your relationships and to your life. And then finally, right, ostracism can lead to nastiness, right? People can turn really mean and bad if they're ostracized. So it's not a great thing. So keep that in mind. When you're thinking about your brothers, sisters, friends, and you're thinking about kicking them out of your group or ostracizing them, especially your family, right? You keep in mind how powerful of a feeling that is, and think about how you felt, and do the right thing. Have a good one.